People ask me all the time, they say, Louis, what's the hardest part of growing a business, growing a brand? Is it your Google marketing, your TV, your radio, your social media, the way you email and text? I go, stop, slow down. Nope, none of the above. The hardest part of growing a business is taking that first step. People think about it for years and years and years and years and months and months and months, and finally something triggers them to get off their butt and move forward and put aside the fears that have been holding them back, because for years they've wanted to do it, but they've had bills to pay, they've had kids to feed, they've had anxiety, they've had depression, they've got health conditions and relationship problems, financial problems, and they were scared that, what if I fail? But then for some reason, they woke up one day and said, wait a minute, if I fail, I can always go back to what I was doing before. But if I take that first step, if I take that risk, if I step outside my comfort zone from the known to the unknown, maybe my life will change for the better. And I've watched thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people from across the world do just that. There's the most amazing stories that have melted my heart. Come back going, Louis, I was scared, I was nervous, I am living my dream, I'm making money. Thank you for kicking me in the butt and making this happen. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just encouraged you to chase your dreams and your passions and let you know that life will be there regardless. But step outside your comfort zone. Get uncomfortable. It's going to feel weird, but that's okay. We all need to retrain our brain and look to the future. Aha! You're here. That's your first step to becoming a starter. So let's do a quick review of the steps it takes to make teeny changes in your life that make all the difference to your ultimate destiny. Number one, define your baby bite-sized goals that'll get you closer to feeling better. The second step is to say your short-term goals or goals out loud for yourself. Then, number three, I want you to remove all those obstacles and commit again. Then, number four, remind yourself of your goal, what you need to do to get there. Much of this revolves around an old adage, one step at a time. But since we want to keep this delicious and exciting, we're going to use the adage, one bite at a time. Just imagine you're sitting in your living room, thinking about maybe going out to dinner with friends. It's been a long time and your fridge is full. But you know you need to get out of the house and connect with people. You're feeling a little down and blue and maybe even gained a few pounds. You don't feel your best. This might be your first step to getting out and turning things around for yourself. This is just one example, but the method applies to so much across the board. One of the first things you want to do is define small goals for yourself for the short term. We call these baby bites at Louology. Please don't worry about big long-term goals. Don't try to take a huge bite out of anything too big or scary. If you take bites that are too big, you take the risk of just choking. Even if you don't think your big goal is scary, something deep down inside can send you running. Think about your goal or dream for your teeny next step and take that step. Just concentrate on millimeters of improvements at a time and celebrate every millimeter of progress. Think baby bites, baby bites, baby bites, and enjoy the journey to a better life. It's funny, when we're eating a sandwich or a banana, we normally dig into it with a pretty good idea about what size bites to take. Usually, we conquer that baby one bite at a time. But when we're trying something new in life, and our instincts usually know how much we can handle and how big our first steps should be. We don't always know what our steps should be. It's not as simple as putting a banana in your mouth. All I know is we were made with opposable thumbs. So that means we're supposed to be taking first steps every day and making an impact. Figuring it out is always the toughest part. Think about what small things you can do right now that can make you happier and help you take your first teeny, not so scary steps out into the world in a different way. In a way that gets you a little closer to connecting with the right people in the right way. So with that said, you want to practice a very important second step to success. You want to share your ultimate short-term, small goal with your closest friends and family, or someone new you've met who plays a pivotal role in your personal or professional growth goals. Now, this does a couple things for you. Number one, when you say something out loud, it makes you accountable. You're saying it out loud. It does something in your head and body that's very good for you. It makes it real and helps you commit to it. Your friends, family, or this new person can help you stay accountable and moving forward. Number two, it can help you hear how brilliant or stupid your goals and plans are. There's a chance maybe your goal is a great one, but the plan for your first step is not so good. And you want to rethink it. That's okay. Let's say you have a goal of getting out away from those pretzels, nachos, and burritos and eating healthier. So you choose a pizza joint for your first outing. Probably not the best idea. Sometimes these critical errors can slip by if you never say it out loud and test the waters. Your family will normally be the first people to point out when you're planning something silly. Your friends are normally the ones who will point out if your family members are the ones being silly, and you need to go for it. Your heart will normally always know. When you're planning something brilliant or stupid, go with your gut. Your intuition's always right. When a plan is good for your heart, body, and soul, and it's improving the way that you feel and the way you live, that's when you know it's right. Back to the food analogies, because I'm kind of a foodie. I dig food, so let's talk about food. We all grow up knowing what foods are good for us and what foods are bad for us. Sometimes you'll eat something and it won't taste so great, but you know it's for your own good. As I'm thinking about the turmeric shot I took an hour ago. Didn't taste so great, but you got to keep taking it, right? These baby steps are exactly the same. Deep down inside, in your heart, in your soul, you know what menu items are good or bad for you. Sometimes it takes just baby bites for you to start liking the taste and liking the way it makes you feel. Believe it or not, I was joking about the turmeric shot because for years, I hated the way they tasted. Now I actually like the taste of my turmeric shots, and it's the #1 anti-aging inflammatory product in the world. So yeah, go. Ask yourself if doing X, Y, or Z is good for you or bad for you. I'm talking health, personal, business, the whole gamut. Ask yourself if X, Y, or Z feeds your goals and dreams of making a positive shift in your life and your business. You have to really get good at sifting through the advice and comments of the people closest to you and sifting through the noise in your own head. We've all got a lot of chatter going on in the brain, right? Keep your eye on the prize. Keep reminding yourself of those baby goals and the whys behind the goal. This is the third critical step. Listen carefully. You might need to change the people. Yeah, I know I just said that. You might need to change the people and the things you have around you to get clarity around what your goals are, what your first step should be. Your usual restaurant and usual menu items and usual people sometimes may have to change to get to where you want to go in life. This may start getting scary, but you need to go back to that baby bite and think about what they said about the first man on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Think about that. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I love that. Keep reminding yourself why you're choosing to get out and change your routine instead of taking that usual, very convenient, comfortable, safe trip to the fridge. This fourth, next critical step ties back to all the previous steps. Here we go. It's just a teeny step that is shifting your routine around. It is done with the intention, key word, intention, of reconnecting you with the world in just the right way to get you going on what we at Louology call your yellow brick road. Once you have clarity, keep reminding yourself of your baby bite goal and that healthy appetizer you want to take a bite of. And keep reminding yourself what you need to do and where you need to go and who you might need alongside you to get that done. During this process, you might find you want to take these first steps with a like-minded friend who's on the same path, right? Pay attention to people who always seem to know what you need and keep you on track, but maybe they don't necessarily need to be with you when you take that bite. Remember, there are also likely some sabotagers out there in your inner circle who are scoffing at you for wanting to do anything different or better. More often than not, sabotagers are filled with their own fears. They want you to keep going to your fridge with them. Well, wait a minute, maybe that's not a good idea. They want you to keep making those homemade nachos for them. They're not ready for you to change and grow. They're not ready for their own change. So they're keeping you drooling for nachos. You get the analogy? And when you're following the steps and someone steps in your way and blocks you from that path that leads you to your yellow brick road, you're going to be cognizant and aware. Fear is complex. Fear can paralyze us or cause us pretty painful spirals down. Then there's fear of mistakes. Fear of mistakes is completely misunderstood. Mistakes exist to help us keep learning and growing and getting smarter and getting better. Mistakes are only bad if we don't make them or if we don't learn from them. I love when I fail. That sounds crazy. I love when I fail. I love when I lose money. I love when I do the big oops. Mistakes are not a bad thing. They're a blip in time that keeps us on a path of continuous learning and growth. The worst thing is not ever trying anything new or better. Through the mistakes in your life, you're going to grow, you're going to evolve, you're going to improve like a fine wine. I guarantee one thing. If you never take that first step, you'll never feel any of these great things or learn and grow. You'll get stuck. It will become your own personal nachos loving obstacle. I sure hope this session has inspired you in some ways and in ways you never expected, especially once you start brainstorming some of your next best baby steps. Please stay in touch and let us know what else you may need from us to get started. Message us, please. We truly appreciate your shares and hope you tag us and mention us during your journey. We're in this together. We'll definitely enjoy commenting on all your social media posts to keep your acceleration flowing. I'm Lou, L-O-U. Louology.com is the science behind crushing it in aesthetics, in beauty, and in life. Please celebrate your accomplishments every step of the way.